I'm back.
Dawn's back.
Had a wonderful, amazing vacation. Got home at 2 a.m. last night, and it is not quite noon. Where are we? Going to the bins. Nathan was a busy guy while I was away.
Yep.
Listed well over 100 items in the just over a week that I was gone. Well, we still have a death pile, 100%. We're going to get a few new items, and we're going to have a challenge, right?
Who can find the most valuable item at the bins today?
The experienced thrifter or the newer thrifter?
I've had a lot of listings.
We'll see, but challenge accepted, challenge on. Here we go. Meanwhile, just outside the bins, look at this little critter. This is a gopher having a little feast on the grass right outside the bins. Nature, right in the big city. Got the shopping bags. We will go in and get ourselves set up to find the bargains. Got our carts. Gonna go find a parking spot for the cart. And then challenge is on. Typical stuff. Whoa, big loud noises. This is an interesting piece. Some mirrored cabinet. Looks interesting. And they're asking $40, which is kind of a lot for furniture in this particular location. Oh, check it out. Part of a bedroom set, I guess. Very elaborate. Not my particular style for my house, but need a mirror? Now, having just come from a tropical sort of vacation on an island, this kind of caught my eye. Sort of rattan, quite a, I guess, a China hutch or something like that. Glass shelves, $80. If this is your vibe in your house, pretty nice piece. Couple of cute carry-ons there. And then this one caught my eye. It is Hayes, so that's a okay luggage brand. Nice carry-on. $10. I don't need one, but if you are traveling, like I said before, here's the place to come. Get your carry-on or your suitcase. Frog. Oh, he's got a big chip. No, actually no, that's just the finish. That's his arm. Arm, head, that's his head. And what do we have? A monkey. This is going, oh, and a hummingbird for $3. Yes, please. Got my first item. Time to go to the bins and start digging. And I see we're lined up over here. I'm gonna start here. Typically shoes and purses in that very far one. And I gotta get there before they scoot those bins away. I'll give you the first overview, and then I'm gonna go see if there's any gems in here. Had some luck selling a few pairs of shoes recently. There's certainly lots to look through. And now down to business.
Dawn has made it to the shoe section, but I have also made it here. So let's see what happens. With my experience of selling shoes before, I've seen a lot of ones that look similar to these or these that sell, but I guess it really depends on the brand and the model because they're not selling for too much. These ones were actually listed at the Goodwill thrift store for $30, and that's what they're selling for on eBay. Not looking too good.
I think this is our first pickup here. These are Lacoste, the alligator. Pink leather sneakers, pretty good shape on the bottom. We'll just give them a little bit of a clean. We've got size 7, that's a pretty decent size. A little bit of wear, but not too bad. We'll throw them in for now. A little bit of, ooh, maybe that's a little too scuffed. Nope, changed my mind. Not gonna get them. And now I think I have a winner. These are Echo men's leather, sort of an ombre effect from dark to light. Slip-on dress shoes, loafers in very nice shape, and size 47, so very large size. I think those will do okay. So we're gonna pick those up. I mean, a little bit heavy for the pound, but you know, at $1.65, I think they're still very worth it. These shoes caught my eye, leather, and very funky. They are called Dear Prudence. And I looked it up and it's a luxury brand. I see one just like this. There's none on eBay that I can immediately see. And so I thought, you know what? They're in nice shape. The heels look good. I think we're going to pick these up because this is going to be just their style. And I found a sold comp for $41 on Poshmark. Well, I had to get a move on because they were going to come and collect those bins quickly. So this happened. Picked up a few things when you weren't looking. Gonna check these out. A few interesting brands, some hunter boots, but of course they are heavy and it's not exactly boot season. We're gonna look into these a little further and I'll let you know what we're gonna keep.
My first pickup here is some Puma Electron shoes. They look like they can be cleaned up quite nice.
These are Indigo by Clark. Some black strappy sandals with a cork wedge heel. And I think these could probably go for around 25, maybe 30. And then these are good. Taos, I think you pronounce it. These have almost a 200% sell-through rate. Size 8, which is a great desirable women's size. So definite yes. So those I showed you. Those I showed you when I found them in the bins. And we have these. Victory Sportswear USA sneakers. Found sold comps, so we'll pick those up. Size 11. And these are Nike golf shoes. Found a sold comp for these, so we will get those. And these are called Legaro. And they're a little bit of a smaller, well actually no, that 5.5 I think was UK, so they're I think an 8 or something. Anyway, kind of a green suede. Found some sold comps, not in green, but I thought I might give those a try as well since they aren't terribly heavy. And then we have a great big return pile. I'll walk you through my logic of why we're not getting these. These are La Strada. There's a few listed of this brand of shoe, but none sold on eBay. Nope. These are called Max Relax, made in Italy, which is what caught my eye in the first place. They're a little on the small side as far as size. Didn't find any on eBay, so nope. These boots caught my eye. Really nice, soft leather. When I looked at the bottom, made in France somewhere I saw. However, I noticed damage here, so we don't want that. Going back, these are Etonic men golf shoes, and while they have some sold comps, not very high, and they're very heavy, so nope. These are some women's Nike golf, a little on the dirty side, probably only $25, so not worth the time and effort right now for cleaning those up. Goodbye. These, I just wanted to check them out. They are Roberto Vianney. Sold comps, again, wrong season, and sold comps were not very strong, so that's not coming home today. And then sadly, these hunter boots, they can bring some okay money, but it's not the prime season, and I think you can probably see on the camera some discoloration, so they're not in pristine condition. So given how heavy they are, we would have to clean them. They look a little bit bent here. Someone bent over doing a lot of gardening, so we shall leave those as well.
The shoes section was just taken away, so now I'm just kind of looking around, hoping that maybe I can beat Dawn to the purses if I find them. Just found a 75-year anniversary Porsche t-shirt, and I don't really understand how people didn't pick this. It looks like mint condition.
Now, of course, I'm at another shoe bin. Let's take a quick scan and see what we see. And maybe we'll find a few more gems in here. I don't know. Got myself a mess of straps here. Mess of laces. These strappy things are getting them all tied, but I'm trying to get to these, which are Echo. Did it. Got them loose. This one and this one. Felt like I was on Survivor or The Amazing Race or something, doing some sort of crazy rope challenge. Anyway, now I'm going to look them up and see if they were worth all that. I must be in vacation mode because I was too slow. They took away one of the bins, but I took a quick look and found a couple things I'm going to check out. So we'll go back to the cart and see if they're worth anything.
Just wanted to point out once again that while items are looking really cool, they don't sell for a lot. I think this is one of a kind, and the ones that are similar are only selling for about 25 bucks.
You can see this toy bin is hooked over pretty good. Bit of miscellaneous stuff. Snow sled, won't be needing that anytime soon. Little kitchen thrown in. Looks like an old game. Password. Plush toys. A rolling pin. Very random bin, this one. And some huge, gigantic, massive, stuffed unicorn, I guess. That would be heavy. And a little toy tool bench. How cute. Let's get into a random bin. Oh, this is, I guess, a shovel that needs a handle. Lacrosse stick. Rearview mirror. Hello. Not really seeing anything that intrigues me enough to dig deeper. Some days they do bring out better quality of one type of good than another. Little Starbucks. Throw it in my check it out bin. Oh, we got Nathan looking at some clothes. Light bright. My goodness, that is such a fun thing. But it looks like they only have just a few little pieces in there, so that would not be so fun if you have no lights to make bright. Might look that up, actually. We'll see, we'll see. It's really not busy in the bins today. Some of the stuff I expect, if the real toy experts were here, may have been already picked over, but they're not here today, so we're getting a good view of different things. Let's switch. What do we have? Linens, sheets, some pillows. Ooh, I always do check pillows. This one actually looks nice, like well made, but had an issue. But if it was, you know, Pottery Barn or Crate and Barrel, one of these nice stores, I would consider it. More clothing. That looks like a bathing suit top. Where I'm really heading is here. My favorite bin of all, which is purses, bags, knapsacks, bags of all different kinds. So I'm gonna get in here and see if there's anything left for me. I thought this might be something. It feels like it's good quality. Everest. Got a bunch of shoes in there too that I quickly grabbed before they took those bins away. This is just a packing cube, but I always pick them up because of a family, extended family, and we all love to travel, so I don't think you can have too many packing cubes. A really old golf bag, Atlantic. Okay, see, now I'm gonna look it up. It weighs a ton, but I'm gonna look it up just for fun. Some interesting comps for a golf bag like this, although I think this one, there's a tear right there, and they ranged too much, like from a low of $36, which, you know, this thing is heavy, so it's gonna weigh, it's probably gonna cost $15. So nope. But we checked it out just in case. A Land Mummy and Baby bag, diaper bag. But look, it's really dirty. So it may come clean. Let me not be the be all and end all. But I see sold comps as low as like $20 some. So we're gonna leave it. We're getting more choosy. We're trying.
I figured I should show some of my finds since I spent a lot of time at the thrift store just being really focused and super conservative with what I decided to buy. And then at the end of it, I realized I hadn't filmed that much. This is a lot of 5 Xbox games for the original Xbox. I figure I can sell these on eBay for a pretty good price. I've seen Forza Motorsport is somewhere in here, and it was selling for about 10 bucks. So as a whole set, this should be pretty good.
I recognize this brand. Very lightweight mini backpack with the shoulder straps as well as the top handle carry strap. Goes from, I saw comps 26, 41. Only issue is, look at damage. So again, since it's going as low as 26, we certainly don't want to sell one that is not in good condition. Fun pillow, tassels but broken. handmade blanket. Unfortunately, these are a little bit heavy and they do not sell well. I've donated a bunch to my church and a Christmas hamper, but I'm trying not to pick them up. As much as I do love buying them and saving them, this one's quite nice. I like it, but no, Newport. I found quite a few for sale, and I found a comp for, I think it was $27. It was a much darker color scheme, but with the sort of a paisley type design. I'm not sure if I should do it. Assembled in the USA. Down-filled, zipper cover. I'm gonna think about it. I'm not sure yet. Souvenir from Israel. That's interesting. 12 Chagall windows. And obviously someone was a Maryland fan. I'm sure that's hand painted. It's definitely giving off vintage vibes with that hook on the top and the wood. Somebody was a traveler. Here's a really nice tile from the Amalfi Coast. If I had been there, I would be tempted to pick this up, but I have not. Okay, more things I am picking up. I found this plastic container filled with Monopoly pieces. We've got houses, hotels, some of the player pieces, the money. Pillow we're still on the fence about. Found this Herschel, not even 100% sure what it is, but I saw a comp, so we're gonna get it. Large dry bag. So my thought is somebody could use this. Nathan said for fishing and stuff like that, so weighs virtually nothing. Nice lightweight hat. It is dirty on the top with a good wash that would come out, and it is this brand, Parkhurst. And I have looked up Parkhurst before. Good old Roots, Canada. Thought this little cap might be fun. Final verdict. Some listed, none sold, low dollar value, no. Pillow, too bulky, don't want to store it. Nathan looked it up. There's some listed, none sold. So I think we will let that go. It's 12 paper cards, so nothing too extravagant. I kind of thought with the pretzels and donuts and lollipops and coffee cups that is kind of cute. Might grab somebody's attention. Taking these bands. And these are Artisan Clarks, and they go like low 20s, so not high enough. These are in Dune, London. Again, selling in the 20s. It's not boot season, so no. These are Fry, but I saw some selling as low as $20. Nope. And these are, I saw this exact pair sold, again, 20 some dollars, so no.
Couple more things I had found. Some Xbox 360 games. Again, I'm gonna sell these as a set. They don't look like too popular games, but Need for Speed seems pretty good. And Prison Break, one of my favorite TV shows. It's the full season 1 through 4. There's a 5th season, but that was more recent. So all of this should be $40 or more when it sells.
Random miscellaneous bin, starting with a golf bag. Oh my goodness. Look at these two. They are just so cute. I think yes. Okay, since I have a globe, let me show you, if you didn't know, where I was. Calgary is somewhere right around here, and I was in the Azores, which are here. And here's the other part of our globe. We got a pair of Converse here. If you watched an earlier video of mine where I found black leather retro Converse, they sold. Cactus, I'm a little bit tempted. They're small though. Bin of bags. Sometimes tucked down in here you find a wallet or some other kind of cool duffel or purse. This is a heavy aluminum food safe, 100% aluminum, but quite heavy. Don't see a brand name or anything. What's you got, Nathan?
I couldn't
Is
find
it?
an exact match, but it is
Kind of looks like it.
some kind of lamp or post or...
Yeah, it looks like it's supposed to be part of something.
Yeah.
Very heavy. Don't know what it is, right? Roasting pans, always. All kinds of big things just thrown into the mix here. The classic water bottles, as usual. I just checked to see if they're swell, although I missed on that one when it was all crooked.
Oh, yeah.
It is actually part of a horseshoe game. I'll show the comp on the screen, but not something I'm going to pick up a single horseshoe. And I don't think there's anything else, although I do love that color green, but don't need it.
Finally, here's some shoes that I'm taking a chance on. We found these Timberland at the end of a bin, and I'm not sure why. They looked like pretty good overall condition. And online, I don't remember if I found any eBay comps, but they were looking to sell new for around $150. Some Clark's strappy heels with the block, and some Puma soccer shoes.
Here's the trunk haul, 29 pounds, and that came to $47.85, round up $48. We'll have to see how many items we got, but I'm sure it's under $2 per item. We'll add it up and see who got the best item. You?
Probably you.
Or me. Back home and tallied everything up. I think we had 34 items, so that worked out to $1.50 per item. Pretty low buy-in cost. With all of the items now categorized in my spreadsheet, I got on that right away. We are going to challenge ourselves, both Nathan and I, to list the things that we found this week. So not adding to the death pile while we continue to chip away at it. So my lessons learned for today are, when you go on vacation and you get home at 2 in the morning after 12 hours of traveling, 3 flights, and a nearly missed connection that had you running through airports, on trains and shuttles, and into the terminal with 1 minute to spare to get on your flight, which I made, go to the bins. That's how you can stay awake. That's my solution anyway. But on a serious note, what we really found interesting today as we looked back at our footage and what we bought and didn't buy is that we were quite similar in terms of the items we tossed back in the bins, deciding not to purchase. However, there were a couple of items, as you would have seen in the video, that Nathan threw back that I ended up choosing. And what that tells us is sometimes the keywords that you use to list an item, which is how I found those items, resulted in me finding comps that showed they were worth picking up. So a quick search on eBay can certainly give you a flavor for an item, but doing a little bit more research, and I certainly do take my time in the thrift store or at the bins to sort of research the comps if I think that it's worth something. And so again, while we were mostly aligned, there were just those couple of items where he threw them back and I ended up picking them up, much to his surprise. Anyway, stay tuned for another video. We will be giving you another update on how we're doing with the death pile because we are making progress. Thanks for watching. Bye.